Data analysis using equal stats. Learning objectives. In this presentation, I will introduce you to the steps in performing analysis using equal stats, a user-friendly interface that I created for researchers without coding skills but wish to use R for their analysis and demonstrate analysis using equal stats. Installation. An overview of the installation process for equal stats for your own machine and for desktop at UCL Anywhere are shown in this slide. To be able to use equal stats in your own machine, you must install R, optionally install RStudio, download equal stats code, and install the packages to perform the analysis. To allow use of equal stats in desktop at UCL Anywhere, available only to UCL staff and students, there are only two steps, i.e. download equal stats code and install the packages to perform the analysis. This is because R and RStudio are pre-installed in desktop at UCL Anywhere. Each of these steps are shown in the next few slides. If you have any difficulty in the installation process, please request your IT team to install R, RStudio, and the packages that equal stats require to function. UCL staff and students having difficulty in installing R in their computers can use desktop at UCL Anywhere to analyze data using equal stats. The first step is installation of R. Visit the website shown. This shows three different options shown by red ellipse. Choose one of these options depending on the operating system you have. This screenshot shows the screen you get if you click on Download R for Linux. Choose the appropriate version of Linux, red ellipse, and follow the instructions. This screenshot shows the screen you get if you click on Download R for Mac operating system. Click on the appropriate version of Mac operating system, red ellipse. This will result in a download. Open the file and follow the instructions, or drag the file to your application folder and follow the instructions. If you perform custom installation, ensure that you install all the components. This screenshot shows the screen you get if you click on Download R for Windows. Choose Install R for the first time, red ellipse. In the resulting screen, the latest version of R is shown. Therefore, you might see a different version to what is shown on the screen. Click on Download R. Once the download is completed, double-click on the resulting exe file and follow the instructions. The second step is installation of RStudio, which is an optional step. Once you click on the web link and scroll down, you can see RStudio installation files for different operating systems. Please click on the appropriate link depending on the operating system you have and follow the instructions. For the Mac operating system, double-click on the DMG file and drag the application from the DMG window to the Applications folder. The third step for installation of the program for own machine and the first step required for installation in desktop at UCL Anywhere is downloading the equal stats code. Once you click on the web link and scroll down, you can see files to download. You can download each file or can download all, red ellipse. If you click on download all, the downloaded file will be a zip file. You can unzip the file using 7-zip available for free from the website shown. The initial screen on opening R is shown. Of course, the version will vary depending on the version that you use. On open script, red ellipse, and locate the equalstats.r, one of the files that you downloaded in step 3. Please note that if you had clicked on download all in step 3, you must unzip the file downloaded before you are able to perform this step. This screenshot shows the screen after opening equalstats.r script. Now select all the lines in the script. A shortcut to perform this selection is by pressing Ctrl and A together when the cursor is in the script file, as it would be when the file is opened. This screenshot shows all the lines selected. Click on Run Line or Selection, blue ellipse. This results in a screen asking you to select the CRAN mirror. You can use the default location of 0-cloud. Click OK, purple ellipse. This installs many packages automatically, which can take a few minutes. This installation of packages is done only when you run equalstats for the first time. Therefore, you will not see this screen when you run equalstats subsequently. Once the installation of packages is complete, only applicable when you run equalstats for the first time, you will see a screen similar to that in this slide, which shows that we are ready to analyze the data. You can also perform analysis with equalstats using RStudio. The initial screen on opening RStudio is shown in this slide. Click on Open an existing file, red ellipse, and locate the equalstats.r, one of the files that you downloaded in step 3. As for using R directly, you must unzip the file downloaded before you are able to perform this step, if you had clicked on Download All in step 3. Once you open the equalstats.r script file through RStudio, please note the highlighted message, green ellipse, which is shown only when you use equalstats for the first time. Click on Install within the highlighted message. This installs many packages automatically. Wait until the installation is complete. This can take a few minutes. Once the installation is complete, click on Run App, blue ellipse. When you use equal stats subsequently, the highlighted message is not shown, and you can click on Run App as soon as the script file opens. When you click on Run App, a similar screen as that for direct analysis using R appears, and we are ready to perform the analysis. Running equal stats through desktop at UCL Anywhere. Some people may not be able to install applications on their computers. UCL staff and students can run equal stats through desktop at UCL Anywhere. Further instructions about how to access desktop at UCL Anywhere is available from the web link shown in this slide. Download and install Citrix Workspace and then log into desktop at UCL Anywhere. When you log into desktop at UCL Anywhere, you can see a screen similar to this. Of course, with your name and a greeting that depends upon the time of access. Click on this icon and then accept the terms and conditions. This starts the desktop at UCL Anywhere. It takes about a minute or so to become functional. The welcome screen, once the login is complete, is shown in this slide. Click on the Windows icon, red ellipse. This results in a screen similar to that shown here. The scroll bar is not visible, but it is to the left of browsers. The area of the scroll bar is shown as red ellipse. Scroll down until you see R. Click on the arrow mark to the right of R, red ellipse. You'll see the latest version of R, red ellipse. Double-click on this to launch R. The remaining steps are the same as for the installation on own machine. However, you might notice that the script terminates abruptly if the internet connection is poor. If this happens, rerun the script repeatedly until you get the analysis screen. You can also run the equal stats code through RStudio by clicking on the arrow next to RStudio, yellow ellipse, and launching the latest version. Primary data-based analysis. Before we start analysis of data, it is important to know how equal stats handles missing data. Only available data is used currently for all analysis. For regression analysis, the program will be expanded to allow a sensitivity analysis using data imputed using missing imputation methods. Please note that multiple imputation methods assume that data may be missing at random, which may or may not be true. Equal stats allows certain types of analysis or interpretation without uploading the primary data. In such a situation, there is no additional preparation required. You simply choose Analyze Data without uploading primary data option, second option in the initial screen, and start the analysis or interpretation. However, Most analyses require primary data. This slide shows an overview of the steps in primary data-based analysis. The broad steps are preparing the data in the right format, which includes the following: record one observation per row, format ordinal data, save as CSV format, upload the data, and analyze the data. A metadata file can be created and uploaded, but this is optional and depends upon the nature of the data. In the next few slides, we show how to process the data file. Before we learn how to process the file, I provide some general instructions for data preparation. The first row of the CSV file should have the column names, and the subsequent rows should contain the data. The column names must not have a comma in them. The column names should be short and meaningful. We recommend not more than 20 letters for graphs to be labeled correctly. The file unformatted data available as part of the download from zenoda.org contains observations on 500 participants in a hypothetical trial comparing multimodal lifestyle advice versus standard care in a population. Each row contains an observation of one participant, resulting in 500 rows for 500 participants. The names of the variable are self-explanatory except for COAD, which indicates chronic obstructive airway disease, and sex, which indicates birth sex. The type of variable and further details, including the choices for categorical variables, are available from the type of variable and description columns. The tasks include preparation of data in a format that is suitable for use for the analysis and performing suitable tests. Step-by-step solutions are provided whenever possible. Task 1 is prepare the ordinal data in a format suitable for equal stats. Equal stats can distinguish between nominal and ordinal variables if the data is provided in a certain format. The correct format can be obtained by using the ordinal data file available as part of download from zenoda.org. This file can handle up to 9 levels of data. Data is pasted in B column, red ellipse. The cells in column C get automatically populated. You must specify the order in column D, blue ellipse. Please note that when you change the order of the data in column B, the order in column C also changes. Therefore, you must complete the column D again. Converted data is available from column E, purple ellipse. Copy only the cells containing the data from column E. You must replace the corresponding column in the unformatted data file with the copied data. While doing so, you must paste values. You can do this by clicking on the arrow below paste, red ellipse, and selecting the first option in the paste values, blue ellipse. Do this for the smoking status end of follow-up column 2, as this column also contains ordinal data. Task 2 is prepare the metadata for the data. A more elegant way of dealing with ordinal data is by using metadata. There is no limit to the number of levels that you can specify if you use this approach. In addition to dealing with ordinal outcomes, using metadata also allows finer control of type of data and allows you to override the algorithms used by equal stats to decide categorical outcomes, the reference category for categorical outcomes, and counts. The metadata helper file, available as part of the download from zenodo.org, creates an automated template which can be modified manually and is easier than creating a metadata file from an empty file. Simply copy the unformatted data and paste the values in the sheet data, red ellipse, in the metadata helper file. The automated information is available from the sheet metadata, blue ellipse. The screenshot shows the automated metadata available from the metadata sheet of the metadata helper file. Copy the columns that contain the data and paste values from the metadata sheet to a new Excel file and save this as a CSV file by clicking on File, Save As, and choosing CSV. If you copy the columns that do not contain the data, this may result in error. The metadata saved as CSV file is shown in this slide. As you can see, the ordinal data smoking status and smoking status end of follow-up, red ellipses, are not recognized as ordinal data, although the remaining types of data have been identified correctly. The order of the categories for smoking status and smoking status end of follow-up are also not correct. These are in alphabetical order rather than increasing or decreasing categories of smoking. You can change the variable type in the second row to ordinal and revise the categories to be in an order. The count data are identified by starting a variable with number of. If you do not start the variable with this term, the data type will not be identified as count data. However, you can change quantitative data to counts manually in such a situation. It is not required in this case. You can also alter reference categories for binary or nominal outcomes. The reference categories are in the third row and the remaining categories are compared to the reference category. There is no need to change the order in this data set since the desired reference category is already in the third row because of alphabetical order. There may be other situations requiring change of reference categories. Equal stats relies on unprocessed data, except for the differentiation between nominal and ordinal categorical data. However, sometimes you might get processed data where categories are replaced by numbers. Equal stats does not recognize this as categories. It recognizes this as quantitative data. You can overcome this default behavior of equal stats by specifying the variable as binary, nominal, or ordinal, and providing the unique numbers which represent the categories. Please note that metadata should contain only the values present in the data for the specific variable and cannot contain any other information. The metadata with revisions of smoking status and smoking status end of follow-up to ordinal data, along with revisions of the order, are shown in the red ellipses in this slide. After the revisions, the metadata should be saved. Task 3 is upload the data and metadata. For this task and the remaining tasks involving this data set, we will use the unformatted data along with the metadata. Click on Primary Data-Based Analysis, red ellipse. In the resulting screen, click on Upload New Data, red ellipse. In the resulting screen, click on Browse, red ellipse, and upload the data. Once the data is uploaded, you will get a screen similar to the screenshot shown. Click on Upload Metadata, red ellipse. Once you upload the metadata file corresponding to the data, a message indicating the success or failure of modification of each column is shown. You are now ready to analyze the data. Click on Start Data Analysis to start analyzing the data. Task 4 is calculate the proportion of females and males in the sample along with the 95% confidence intervals. For this question and the remaining questions on primary data-based analysis, it is assumed that you have uploaded the data, the metadata, and clicked on Start Data Analysis. Click on Calculate Summary Measures, red ellipse. This results in the screen shown. In equal stats, there are 5 types of input. These are drop-down menus, checkboxes, sliders, numbers, and free text. We will describe these inputs as we encounter them in the tasks. The type of input and the choices may change depending upon your previous entry, i.e., equal stats will only show you choices which are relevant based on your previous choices. For completing the task 4, we need to complete only the first and third questions. We encounter 2 types of input for this task: drop-down menus and checkboxes. Drop-down menus accept only one answer. Checkboxes accept multiple answers. Click on the drop-down menu, red ellipse, and select sex. When you perform this, the choices for the checkboxes change. The choices for the questions to perform task 4 are shown in this slide. Click on Submit the input data to perform the analysis, red ellipse. You might notice that this button appears only when the minimum required information is complete. In the rest of this demonstration, when we mean submit the choices, we mean submit the input data to perform the analysis. The answer for task 4 is now available, red ellipse. Please note, download the analysis results up to analysis number 1, green ellipse. After each analysis, you will see a similar option with the only difference being the analysis number. The results include all the analysis performed previously in the session on the uploaded data. The results are downloaded as a zip file which contains all the graphs produced as part of the analysis, other results in tabular format in a file called results.csv, and other files called plan.csv and code.r. We'll describe and use these files in a later task. The results are available for all analysis performed on the dataset in that session. Strictly speaking, there is no need to download the results after each analysis. However, I recommend that you download the analysis results after each analysis if you plan to perform multiple analyses on the same data. The reasons for this recommendation are that while we have tested equal stats for the common analysis, there may be some specific analysis for the data uploaded that might result in an error. An error results in premature termination of the program, resulting in loss of all the analysis done so far. On the other hand, if you had downloaded the results, you would have lost only the results related to the last analysis. Furthermore, the session might end after a period of inactivity. By downloading the results after each analysis, you will not lose the results of the analysis. Please also note the Perform Another Analysis Return to Main Menu option, purple ellipse. After downloading the results, click on this to perform the next analysis. Task 5 is create box plots for weight for females and males. After clicking on Perform Another Analysis, Return to Main Menu at the end of Task 4, you will return to the main menu. From this, click on Create Plots. You will see a screen as shown. Click on Box Plot, red ellipse. The choices to complete the task 5 are shown. For this task, we encountered a new type of input, text input, for the title of the plot, red ellipse. Text inputs allow you to enter any text. However, we recommend keeping this short so that the plot appears appropriate. I have left this empty to accept the default title provided by equal stats, but you can enter a short title. As before, submit your choices to get the analysis results. The plot can be seen when you scroll down. While this plot appears to be of reasonable resolution, we always recommend using the plots available after you download the results rather than the plots displayed. Task 6 is find whether there is an association between sex and symptomatic COAD at baseline. After returning to main menu, click on Compare Groups, Variables, Independent Samples. And in the resulting screen, click on Equal Stats choice. The choices for completing task 6 are shown in this slide. Note that we have entered 0.05 for the alpha error as none was specified in the question. The default alpha error in biomedical research is 0.05, and this is used in this analysis. Other alpha errors that EqualStats offers are 0.01 and 0.001. Note also that we have used symptomatic COAD first, as any association between the two will be sex altering symptomatic COAD and not the other way. Sometimes it is difficult to guess what the dependent and independent variables are. In such situations, you can choose any of the two variables for the first question and the remaining variable for the second question, provided that both variables are categorical variables. If one of them is a quantitative variable, it should be entered in the first question and the categorical variable in the second question. The results are shown in this slide. The p-value is available, red ellipse, which informs us whether there is an association between sex and symptomatic COAD. If the p-value is less than or equal to 0.05, default in biomedical research, one can consider that there was an association between sex and symptomatic COAD. The results also show the test used, blue ellipse, which is based on the type of data provided. The confidence intervals of differences in symptomatic COAD between males and females are also provided in the results, green ellipse. These will be useful in interpretation of the results. Task 7 is find whether there is an association between baseline weight and number of GP visits for COAD during follow-up. Compare groups variables independent samples option is suitable only when at least one of the two variables is a categorical variable. If both the variables are quantitative variables, one must use find the correlation quantitative variables option. From the resulting menu, choose EqualStats choice. The choices for performing task 7 are shown in this slide. The correlation between the variables and the p-value are shown in the results, red ellipse. The type of correlation coefficient used is also available from the results, blue ellipse. Task 8 is find the effect of multimodal lifestyle advice on symptomatic COAD, end of follow-up, after adjusting for baseline symptomatic COAD and smoking status, end of follow-up. After returning to main menu, click on Perform Regression Analysis. In the resulting menu, choose EqualStats choice. Except for analysis of a time to event outcome, you can choose EqualStats choice for all other types of outcomes, which will choose the appropriate regression method. Please note that if you want to perform mixed effects regression, multivariate regression, or time series analysis, you must choose perform mixed effects regression, perform multivariate regression, and analyze time series respectively. Choices for completing task 8 are shown in this slide. Note that we have selected the 3 variables as mandatory as we need all 3 variables in the model. We have left the interactions empty as the question does not specify whether we should consider interaction effects. By default, equal stats choice considers interaction terms as optional variables and includes them if the model performance is improved by these terms. If you scroll down the results, you can get the p-value of the effect of multimodal lifestyle advice, red ellipse. Using the standard alpha error of 0.05, there is no evidence for any effect of multimodal lifestyle advice on symptomatic COAD, end of follow-up, after adjusting for baseline symptomatic COAD and smoking status, end of follow-up. Task 9 is, was the weight, end of follow-up, different from weight at baseline? After returning to main menu, click on Compare Groups, Variables, Paired Samples or Repeated Measures. In the resulting menu, choose Equal Stats choice. Except for two-way ANOVA, where it is possible to find if the change over time is different between 2 or more groups, none of the other choices allow you to find if the change in an outcome over time was different between the groups. We recommend mixed level regression or multivariate regression depending upon the assumptions in such cases. Since our main interest is in finding whether there was change over time and not whether this change was different between 2 or more groups, we use Equal Stats choice. The choices for performing task 9 are shown in this slide. Note that we use the default alpha error of 0.05 in the calculations since none was specified in the question. The results show p-value for the change in weight over time. It shows 0 in the display table, but this simply means that p-value is less than 0.001. You can get the exact p-value by downloading the results. Download the results as we will need this for the next task. Task 10 is rerun tasks 4 to 9 using the plan and code downloaded from the results. First, unzip the results that you downloaded at the end of task 9. This will contain all the results from task 4 to 9. This screenshot shows the unzipped results. First, we will rerun the tasks using the plan. Open a new session of equal stats. You can do this by refreshing the browser or by terminating the previous session from R or RStudio, depending upon the platform that you used, and running the program again by selecting all the lines and clicking on Run Line or Selection from R, or by clicking on Run App from RStudio. Now, upload the unformatted data and metadata as before. Click on Upload Plan previously prepared using this program, optional, red ellipse. In the resulting window, click on Browse and upload the plan. This will rerun the analysis. As this may take a while, you might see a progress bar, red ellipse, which indicates which analysis it is executing currently. Now, download the analysis results. Once you unzip the results, you can see that the analysis has been rerun. Some people may not like to have an interactive user interface and prefer a code to be executed. Equal stats generates a code that can be uploaded alongside the data to reproduce the results. Terminate the equal stats session in R or RStudio. Open the file code.r contained in the results in the same way that you opened the equal stats.r script in R or RStudio. The screenshot shows equal stats.r terminated as there is a greater than sign, red ellipse, which indicates that R is ready to run codes, and the code.r opened in RStudio, blue ellipse. Select all the lines in the code.r. As before, you can use the shortcut of pressing Ctrl and A simultaneously to select all the lines. Now, click on Run, red ellipse. This may result in a window asking you to upload the data, or you might see a flashing icon of a folder tree, red ellipse. Choose the data and metadata. Please note that this should correspond to the same data and metadata that you used previously. Otherwise, the program will terminate abruptly without any warning. If this happens because you uploaded the wrong data or metadata, you can select the lines and run again, but choosing the correct files this time. Once the analysis is complete, you'll get a message indicating where the results are available. Analyze data without uploading primary data. There are some functions in equal stats that do not require uploading primary data. We will look at how this works next. Task 11 is generate hypothesis using the details of the research question in this slide. To perform this task, you need to start a new session of equal stats. You can do this by refreshing the browser. Then you must choose Analyze data without uploading primary data. This slide shows the screen that results when you click on Analyze data without uploading primary data. Click on Start Data Analysis, red ellipse, and then Generate Hypothesis in the resulting screen. This slide shows the answers to the questions for task 11. Submit the choices for analysis. The null and alternate hypotheses are available, red and blue ellipses. Downloading the analysis results and performing another analysis work in the same way as analysis of primary data. Using plan and code for rerunning the analysis also works in a similar way, but there are some differences. Therefore, let us see how rerunning analysis works for analysis without uploading primary data in task 12. To perform task 12, download the analysis results from task 11. Task 12 is rerun task 11 using the plan and code downloaded from the results. First, unzip the results. The screenshot shows the unzipped results after task 11. Let us rerun the analysis with the plan. Start a new session of equal stats and click on Analyze data without uploading primary data. In the resulting window, instead of clicking on Start Data Analysis as you did for task 11, click on Upload Plan previously prepared using this program, optional, red ellipse. In the resulting screen, click on Browse and upload the plan. This will result in a rerun of the analysis. You can download the results after the analysis is rerun. Next, we will rerun the task using the code. As for primary data-based analysis, terminate equal stats, open code.r, select all the lines, and click Run. This results in the rerun of task 11. The results are available from the folder shown after the analysis is complete. You might have noticed that there are times when more than one solution is possible. We have provided one solution that is likely to be accepted by most people. There may be other equally good solutions. This brings us to the end of this demonstration. In this demonstration, we learned the fundamental principles of data analysis using equal stats.